Hello everybody, welcome along. My name is Benjamin Bloom. This is the Benjamin Bloom Football Channel. Please leave your bias at the door and join us for the best concoction I can make of my championship coverage. And we're now going to do 4 weeks coverage on the Euros. So you can imagine what's coming. Here is my Euro 2020 Championship 11. We are going to pick a team of players, and we're quite limited on this, I have to say. I've just scanned through all the squads. I make it 23 players who are contracted to current championship clubs are going to be in the Euros, which brings me straight away to the rules, because we always need the rules when we're doing these 11s, don't we? So, only players permanently, so no loans. It would be lovely to use, for example, Yokuslu for West Brom, who's on loan. They've been relegated. Kind of a championship player, isn't he? Joachim Andersen for Fulham, been relegated loan player. Let's not jump through that loophole. So look, only players contracted to current championship teams. Look at those numbers there. 21, 22. This is not players who've just played in the championship this season. It's current championship players. I think those players, and there are quite a few, the Danes at Brentford, even Teemu Pukki, Grant Hanley, Tim Krul, Norwich, Sema at Watford and Backman, they're Premier League players now. They deserve to be called Premier League players. So, there's not going to be any of those guys in this team. So, let's do this. Here is my Championship Euro 2020 11. In goal, do you know what? We're actually spoilt for choice. There are 5 championship goalkeepers. Davies, Ruddock, Marshall. Sam Johnston is officially a championship player, but I've got to keep it quite as, well, try and keep it as exotic as I can, really, because there may be a few home nations players. There may be a few from the Wales squad. So we'll go for Simon Sluga, who is in the Croatia squad. That is the Luton goalkeeper. He's going to be our keeper. And on the right-hand side of a back three, Thomas Kalas of the Czech Republic. They're in England and Scotland's group, aren't they? I think. So is Sluga, in fact, although he may well not get on the pitch. But let's go for Kalas, who once at Chelsea and Fulham is at Bristol City. And that means we get another nation represented there. And there is Michael Helik of Poland as our next centre-half. Okay, you could swap Helik and Kalas out. There'd be a big fight to see who plays down the middle. Let's say Helik finished higher up in the division, so we'll give him control of that back three and he can play in the middle. Maybe Kalas a little bit better with his feet. Helik's so good in the air, although I think Helik's used to pushing our back three way up close to the halfway line for Barnsley. So look, we got a Pole, a Croat and a Czech. Let's go for a Scot. Literally, I didn't even plan that. Scott McKenna. We need a left-sided centre-back. So there you go. Nottingham Forest's Scott McKenna, who is in the Scotland squad. And I've got a back three and a keeper and 4 different nationalities. It's going terribly well so far, isn't it? Who might have missed out there? Ben Cabango, Tom Lockyer, Chris Mepham, all Welsh centre-backs. There are a lot of championship players in the Wales squad. Look, we'll get to the Welsh players, won't we? Indeed, here come a couple. My wing-backs, and scanning right the way through without putting people way out of position, I could only find 2 full-backs. And they're both in the Wales squad, so I think you know what's coming. Rhys Norrington-Davis, who had the wonderful distinction of playing for 2 championship clubs this season. Luton fans are not very happy with him because he went off to Stoke mid-season on loan from Sheffield United. So he is, obviously, with Blades being relegated, a championship player. And on the other side, our second Welshman is Connor Roberts, who's been in a lot of teams of the season, hasn't he? Although, strangely, not really ending the season in the Swansea team. But they're going to be my 2 wing-backs. And, guys, they were the only 2 full-backs I could have chosen without... I'm just looking down here, who I could have stuck at wing-back. I'm not doing it. Let's have players in their proper positions. So there's your back three and your wing backs. Let's have a couple of sitting midfielders, shall we? John Fleck, another Sheffield United player, another Scotsman, our second Scotsman in the team. He's going to be a left footer as well. Balance up that side of the midfield. Get about the pitch. I want the John Fleck of those 2 championship seasons under Chris Wilder and the first one in the Premier League. Obviously, a little bit tainted by a Premier League relegation, but an excellent player nonetheless, John Fleck. He can go in my central midfield. And would you believe, after their not very good season, here comes another Bristol City player, but I've got to get as many different nations as I can, and it's a Hungarian. It's Adam Nagy. In he goes into the central midfield. Adam Nagy of Bristol City. Get him in there, which is... we'll count up the nations when we get to the end of this. Right, I'm going to go for 2 wide forwards and a central striker, which may be what Gareth Southgate might do at some point, although I don't have 7 right backs to choose from. Let's go for David Brooks, who's in the Wales squad, who's going to play front right. It wasn't the best of seasons. Big Sheffield United link with this. He's at Bournemouth. They didn't go up. Maybe he'll step up a little bit more next season, but I think we can get the best out of him, so he's going to be front right. And we could have gone for, well, I'll read the players out after I've announced who this is. It is Kamil Jozwiak. So I've gone for another poll just to keep away from the home nations a little bit there. So Jozwiak, front left, and Brooks, front right. Midfielders who didn't make the cut: Joe Morrell at Luton, Joe Allen at Stoke, Johnny Williams and Ruben Coyle, both at Cardiff, did not make my cut, even though Johnny Williams was very good in Euro 2016, wasn't he, for the Welsh? Who's playing up front? Speaking of the Welsh, it's not Lyndon Dykes. Sorry, Scottish fans. It's obviously big Kiefer Moore with all of those championship goals. Got a few for Wales as well, hasn't he? So there is my team. It's a 3-5-2. I think we're going to play fairly rudimentary and try and get the ball up to big Kiefer and have Michael Hellick push us up to halfway, I think. Or are we? Because I need to choose a manager. Now, would there be a manager at the Euros who's managed the championship club? Maybe even more than one championship club. Here comes Paulo Sousa, who managed QPR for not very long, Leicester for not very long. But Swansea, I think he did a whole season before Brendan Rodgers. I can't remember which order that was in. But Paulo Sousa is definitely known to the championship and 3 championship clubs. So he's not known for the type of football that I probably want to play with my 11 here. But there we go. He can be our manager. Trying to think whether there'd be any other managers who'd managed in the championship. You can let me know in the comments. So look, there is my championship 11, Euro 2020. No, we're playing in 2021. But Simon Sluga of Luton and Croatia, Tomasz Kalas of Bristol City in the Czech Republic, Michael Hellick of Barnsley and Poland, Scott McKenna of Forest and Scotland, a couple of Welsh fullbacks, wingbacks, Rhys Norrington-Davis of Sheffield United and Connor Roberts of Swansea. In central midfield, another Sheffield United player, Scotland's John Fleck, Hungary's Adam Nagy of Bristol City in there as well. And then the Welsh connection with David Brooks playing off the right, off Kiefer Moore up top. They play for Bournemouth and Cardiff respectively. And Kamil Jozwiak just about stayed in the championship, didn't he? A Polish winger. Maybe he'd prefer to play down the right, but hey, what are you going to do? He's going to play front left for me. Paulo Sousa is going to be our manager. Steve Clarke? Yeah, he managed Reading, didn't he? He could have been a choice though. We've got to go for Paulo Sousa. He's Portuguese. He's managing Poland. He's managed 3 championship clubs. So again, our players that missed out: Sam Johnston, David Marshall, Marek Ruddock, Ben Davies, Ben Cabango, Tom Lockyer, Chris Mepham, Joe Morrell, Joe Allen, Johnny Williams, Ruben Coyle, and Lyndon Dykes. They make up the rest of our massively unbalanced 23-man squad. which has 5 goalkeepers but only 2 fullbacks. Hang on, isn't that kind of the reverse of the England? Whatever, let's not get into that. There is one more look at my Championship 11. Normally in these videos, I say, why don't you have a go? You can have a go. I've read out the players. You've not got many to choose from, let's just say, from those 23. Hopefully you've heard all of the names now. Remember, my criteria was only players permanently contracted to current Championship teams. So not the teams that have just played in the Championship this past season. They're now Premier League teams, really, aren't they? Those 3 that have gone up, for those fans of those teams that are probably going to be incredibly upset with me and use words like shocked and saddened and call me names, that I've chosen to do it moving forward rather than moving backwards. Who cares? It's just a little bit of fun. Hopefully that entertains you for 10 minutes. Plenty of Euro 2020 coverage coming up. And that is my Championship 11. Let me know what you think in the comments. And it's a big, glorious, sunny over and out from me. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button to see more videos from this channel. Hit the subscribe button and to be notified every time we upload. Ring the bell for those notifications to come through on your device. If you really want to support the channel and me as a content creator, I will be eternally grateful if you head over to the merch store and grab something, or support over on Patreon, patreon.com/Benjamin Bloom. Thank you for your time. Go and watch another video.